In this video, I'm going to explain about different forms of range function. So there is a function called range function that is used to generate range of values. This range function is available in three forms: range function with one argument, range function with two arguments, and range function with three arguments. I will show you. Yeah. So range with argument one. Okay. Argument one. This is one thing. So function names are always begins with lowercase. Python is case sensitive language, so be careful with the cases when you are using them, whether it is lowercase or uppercase. And one more function is available with the same name but with a different number of arguments. And the same function is available in another one, that is three arguments: argument 1, comma, argument 2, comma, argument 3. So what are these three arguments and what is the importance of these three? I'm going to explain now in this video. Yes. So first I will discuss about the first form of the range function, which is expecting only one argument. So range is a function. It is used to generate a range of numbers. Okay. If I specified only one value, what will happen? Okay. And where can we use this range function? Generally, we are using this range function inside the for loop of the Python programming. So first, I will give you the syntax of the for loop also in this document. So for loop syntax is like this: for variable, okay, in, and here any sequence, okay, for variable any sequence and set of Python related statements. Here set of statements: statement 1, statement 2, okay, and so on, statement n. Statement n number of statements we can enclose in this loop. Okay, so a loop, for the loop syntax here is for, you need to control the loop using a variable. So that variable name you have to specify here, and this is a built-in keyword in, and you need to represent which sequence you want to iterate for this loop. Okay, that sequence you have to generate, and you have to give colon symbol, and after that you have to specify how many number of statements we need to enclose for the above for loop. So why we generally we are using loops? If you want to repeatedly execute the same set of statements more than one time or multiple times, the same set of statements we want to rerun again and again, then we can go for loops. Okay, so in this place of sequence, now how I am generating this sequence with the help of range. Okay, I will show you the for loop usage, the range function used with the for loop by using these three formats, by using these three forms. So where to type our Python programs? We need to type in our IDLE. So we have to click on IDLE. After installing the Python setup file, we will get this IDLE window. So just you click on this one. Now you have to click on file and you click on new file. Okay, now you need to yeah, print the for loop. For my variable name, just I'm assigning it as I in. Okay, sequence, how I'm going to generate the sequence using the range function with the first argument, there is only one argument. If you specify only one argument, how it is going to treat? It is treated as stop. See, range with one argument means the represented argument is considered as the stop value. Okay, I will show you how it is going to stop. Suppose I given it as 10. As per the syntax, we need to keep colon here. And here n number of statements we need to keep inside the for loop. But here I required only one statement. Why? Because I want to iterate the loop n number of times and I want to print the value of that variable I. So according to the syntax, so for loop, for keyword, variable name, in place of variable name I given I. In is a built-in keyword, so that is, see, all keywords are displayed in a separate color. And range is a built-in function. Print is a built-in function. Okay, remember this one. Print is a built-in function to print some information. Range is a built-in function to generate the range of values. When I specified only one argument, what are the values it is going to print? So before run the program, we need to save it. Need to click on save as button and go to D drive. In D drive, I have a folder called, I'll show you this one, this one. So in this, I'm going to save this application with the name for loop demo one, suppose. So for loop demo one.py is the extension. Okay. So name of the file, give a valid name, which you can read it. By seeing the name of the file, we can recollect the aim of the program. So it is the first for loop demo program. So I given it as for loop demo one. Now, how do we run it? We have a run field here. Menu option, you have to click on the run module. If I run this, what's happening here? So who told in this application the series begins from 0 and the series ends up to 9 with 9. Here we didn't specify the beginning value, but we specified the stop value, where to stop. Where to stop. I specified only 10. Range of 10 means when we specified the stop value, when we pass only one argument, what happens? The series always begins from the 0 up to this argument 1 minus 1. See, even though I given 10 here, it prints up to 9 only. It won't print the last element that is specified in that range function. Okay, that is the property of the range function. So range function, when you pass only one argument, that is treated as the stop value, but the where to begin, the series always begins from the 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It won't print the last element. 10 is not part of the output, please remember. So this is the range function usage along with the for loop. The for loop syntax is this one. For, in place of variable, I given the program I. In place of sequence, I given range. As per the syntax, I kept the colon. After that, n number of statements we can keep, but according to this application, I need only one statement, that is printing the value of the variable I. So I used only one print statement, that is print of I. Okay. If you want to increase, you can increase the font size also. Yeah, this one. This is now in the same program. In the same program, I will apply println. Okay, because the previous output and the upcoming output I want to separate with a new line. That's why I assigned it as println. So sorry, print. I given one more print function because to apply a new line. Now again I'm repeating the same for loop one more time by using the second form of the range function. So what is the second form of the range function? The second form of the range function is expecting two arguments. You can see here the second form of range function is expecting two arguments. You see this one. Okay. So range of argument 1 is separated with the argument 2 by using a comma symbol. Okay. Argument 1 is represents the start value. Argument 2 is represents the stop value. When you are not specifying the start value, the series begins from 0. But in this case, you have a flexibility to specify that from which value the series begins. The range minimum value, the range maximum. Range is nothing but minimum value to maximum value. So you have to specify the minimum range. You can also specify the maximum range. The series begins from the minimum range up to the maximum range minus 1. It won't print the last element. You can observe that. So range of, suppose I don't want to start my series from 0. I want to begin from 1. So I need to specify the beginning value as 1. I need to specify the last value as 10. Now, according to the syntax, we need to keep colon here. And I want to print the values of I. So print that. Okay, this one. So same program, I done the changes. I added one more for loop. So I will rerun the program again. You can observe the difference. See, first one 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the output of the first for loop. And the next one, the series beginning from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the second for loop output. Suppose if I want to observe both the outputs in the single line, I can reduce this range value, so you can observe clearly. Just I, yeah, you can see. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the part of the first for loop because we specified range of 5 means the series begins from 0 up to the end index minus end value minus 1 or stop value minus 1. Coming to the second one, only we explicitly specified that the series should begins from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the last element is not printed. Okay. Now we will go to the next one. What is the third one? The third function, the same function, name is same, only arguments are different. Okay. Yeah. So in the third function, it is expecting three arguments, argument 1, argument 2 and argument 3. Argument 1 is represent start value, argument 2 is representing the stop value, we know that. But what about argument 3? So how many steps we need to jump? How many steps we need to jump? Generally, after 1, why it prints 2? After 2, why it prints 3? So who told you to jump only one step? When we did not specify the step value, by default, it incremented by 1. Suppose you don't want to jump by one step, you want to jump by 2 steps, or you want to jump by 3 steps, then we can take the help of the third argument. I will show you how it is going to use the same program. So to separate the second for loop output, I included one more blank print statement because to give a new line. Now for loop, variable name and range function with 3 arguments. So 1 comma 10 comma, I want to jump 2 steps. See, start value, stop value, step value. So triple S. The first argument is representing the start value. The second argument is representing the stop value. And the third argument is representing the step value. So range function with one argument, range function with 3 arguments. The signature is clearly highlighted in this editor. You can observe here. So the first argument represents the start value. The second argument represents the stop value. The third argument represents the how many steps you need to jump. That means after 1, it won't print 2, it prints 3. Why? Because we clearly specified that the jump value is, the step value is 2 here. So of print of I. So in all the cases, I am printing the value of I. So just I am saving this application and rerun the program. See here, the first for loop output is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as usual. 1, 2, 3, 4. These two outputs we already observed in the previous. Now we added a new loop, third loop. In that we clearly specified 1 comma 10 comma 2. So after 1 it won't print 2. After 1 it jumps 2 steps. Then it will print 3. After 3 it jumps 2 more steps. 5. After 5 it jumps 2 more steps. 7. After 7 it jumps 2 more steps. 9. After 9 jumping means 11, but it won't print the, because we given the maximum value as 10, so it won't print the last value. That is the reason 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are printed. Okay, this one. You can observe the output here. So when we are using only one argument, how it treats that argument. When you are passing 2 arguments, how the Python interpreter treats that, what is argument 1 is representing, what is argument 2 is representing. When you are passing 3 arguments, what is the first argument represents, what is the second argument represents, what is the third argument represents. When you are passing only one argument, it is treated as the stop value. Default beginning value is 0. When you're passing 2 arguments, it is treated as the minimum range value or start value. The second one is treated as the maximum range value or the stop value. When you're passing 3, start value, stop value and step value. This is. Now one more example, we can also pass negative numbers. Suppose if I want to print the series beginning from 10 up to 1, I want to print. Okay, I want to decrease. After 10, I want to print 9. After 9, I want to print 8, 7, 6, like that. So how can we do it? I will show you one more program. Yeah. For I in range of, suppose if I given 10, okay, 10 comma, each time minimum value is 1. Okay, each time it should decrement by 1. So I need to specify 3 values: start value, stop value and step value. Okay, so I'm printing here using the print function. So for variable name, in keyword, you can give any sequence. The sequence is generated with the help of range with the three arguments. The first argument represents the start value, second argument represents the stop value, third argument represents the step value. So after 10 it prints 9, after 9 it prints 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It won't print the last value. Why? Because we clearly mentioned here 1. Up to the end index minus up to the stop index minus only it prints. So we need to save this application. So some valid name we have to give, and to run this program, you can see. So 10, after 10 it prints 9, after 9 it prints 8, after 8 it prints 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, but it won't print the last one. Why? Because step value won't, stop value won't print as part of the output. Before that, that means up to stop value minus 1 only we will get as part of the output. That is a property of the range function. Okay, and one more example I will show you. In the same program I will use one more for loop, so that to separate the first output and the second for loop output I am applying some blank line. Now for, so I in range of, so 10 comma 1 comma, each time I want to decrement by two steps. That means after 10 it won't print 9, after 10 it prints 8, after 8 it prints 6, after 6 it prints 4, after 4 it prints 2, like that. So that is my requirement. So according to my choice I am decremented by two steps here. Okay, if it is perfectly syntactically correct, then it will directly run the program. You can observe this one, you can see this. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And coming to the second for loop, it prints 10, it prints 8, it prints 6, 4, 2. So in this way, we can use range function to generate the range of numbers from maximum value to minimum value, from minimum value to maximum value. Both the ways is possible. The step value is accepting both the positive numbers as well as the negative numbers. When our series, when our range begins from the maximum value, we need to decrement. In that case, we are using step value as negative number. When our series begins from the minimum value, then we need to assign a positive value for the step, so that that number is incremented by. Okay, so if you specify 2, it jumps 2 steps. If you specify 3, it jumps 3 steps. So in this way we can use for loop. Okay, along with the we can use the range function along with the for loop in Python like this.